So hi there, I'm really sorry, I've got to explain things to you. So I was about to sit down and film this episode. I had decided to go to the 2 magazine format. So I'd actually done 75 and 76 the previous week, last week, when we had the which we got in the previous pack. And I was getting all excited, ready to tell you. I'm ever so sorry about the camera, by the way. My computer's still not fixed. I was getting ready to tell you all about the new pack and everything. And then I noticed that something was wrong. So it is new pack day. And here's what's happened. Let me tell you the good things about the pack. I believe this is delayed, but we have finally got the t-shirt. And this is one of the free gifts. So let's have a look. I think I ordered a large. I got a large. I normally order a larger size than I need, but that's my free t-shirt, so I might get round to wearing that one day. I tend to find that just as I get to the point where I think, oh, I need some t-shirts. Just the other day I was putting this on, and the cats have obviously been sharpening their claws on it because there's 2 great big holes in it. But that's the beauty of having cats. So we got our free gift. We also have received 5 issues. Now, the letter that we got, it says we should have issues 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. And obviously, because I'm a premium member, premium subscriber, I get part 6 of the premium base. Magazine wise, I have received 77, 78, 79, 80 and 81, exactly as I should receive it. However, the parts that I've received is issue 78, 79, 80, 81, and then I've received parts for 82, which means I don't have the parts for 77, but I do have the magazine. I don't have the magazine for 82, but I have the parts, and I cannot continue the build. Issue 70 is we're still waiting for that. I was expecting it in the next pack. This pack, they've told us it'll be coming with 94, then they told us coming in the next pack. Now this one is missing. Now unfortunately it's finger part 3. I can't build part 4 until I've built part 3. I got away with it on that one because we were just finishing that part of the gauntlet off, and now we're moving on to another part. So all I can build is the premium base. Now I have rung up Fanhome, and as it stands right now, I know Building with the Boys said that he is finished with Fanhome until they sort the problems out. He's not even going to build anymore. I am actually now done with Fanhome. Once my 3 collections have done with Fanhome, I am not spending any more money with them. So I had a chat with them. First of all, I had a chat with a lady, and the conversation was really basically going nowhere. She was just telling me, you can't do this, can't this, that and the other. Basically, she wasn't budging. One of my main concerns was, as far as I'm concerned, with Partworks, you aren't just buying into the parts, you're buying into the experience. And by giving me parts that you can't build, you're taking away that experience. You're still getting the experience when the parts do come in, but let's say, for example, these parts don't come in for 3 months, then they will take 3 months worth of money off me and send me 3 packs that I can't build. So I'm saying to them, can I start the build? She's going, no you can't, no you can't. And I'm going, right, if I cancel it, can I send it back, get me money back? No you can't. I already knew that, but obviously you've got to try anything. So I asked a series of questions. Now this young lady that I spoke to, she claims her name is T, and when I confirmed her name, because I said, can you spell it, she said TEA, and I said, oh, as in cup of tea, and she went, oh, very funny, and hung up the phone on me. So I wasn't happy with that, so I rung back and I spoke to a guy called Erion, E-R-I-O-N, and to be honest with you, he was much more pleasant. He didn't give me any more information because I don't think these call handlers have much information to give. But I had a chat with him and I ended up asking him direct questions, and these are my direct questions and the direct answers. So I said, when will I get issue 70? And he says it is coming in an upcoming pack, but they don't know which pack. So then I said, when will I get issue 77? Again, the answer was exactly the same. It's coming in an upcoming pack, but they're not sure which pack. And I said, am I likely to get 70 and 77 together, or will I get them separated? And he says, if they both come in stock together, you will receive both. So then I said, can I suspend my build? And he says, yes, you can suspend for up to 3 months. If you haven't reinstated the build within 3 months, then they will cancel it. So I said, right, I would like to suspend my build, and then I will ring you up in 2 months to confirm that I still want it and restart the suspension. I'm not prepared to give Fanhome any money until they have supplied the parts. So this build is now officially on hold. This is the last video you're getting out of me until issue 70 and 71 comes in. Then I said, because, and I know this is standard wording, but the letter says, due to the huge success of this product, blah, 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 blah. Now, where have I heard those words before? The ET. The ET has been delayed twice. The start has been delayed, and then one of the packs was delayed, and that was due to the huge success of the product. So I said, how likely are these going to be affecting ET and Robocop? And he says, we've got nothing on the system to say of any problems. The next issue that I've got with them, it's going to sound like I'm moaning because I want freebies, but I promise you I'm not. There are YouTubers out there that get this build for free, and I don't have a problem with that. If you have legitimately built your YouTube channel up to a certain size, and you've built that through hard work, not by buying 4,500, 5,000 subs, but people like the Nexus, I think he's built his channel up over time. I know that his channel was quite big before I started YouTubing. So people like the Nexus, World of Wayne, you know, people who have worked, if you get freebies off people, that's absolutely fine. And I shouldn't really use the word Nexus, but because it sounds like I'm having a pop at him, but I'm not. Full dues to him. Now, these people get things for free. Not an issue with that. What I do have an issue with is they actually get their issues before the general public gets theirs. Now, if you're going to get your issues early, if a company's going to send you the issues out early, in my opinion, they should be saying, we give you these issues for free on the condition that you do not publish them before a certain date. Is it fair when people are publishing videos before I've even made payment? And in this case, before I'm even receiving the issues. So, yeah, but he says it's a different department. So, I declare that there will be no more issues for Infinity Gauntlet until I am in receipt of both Stage 70 and Stage 77. I will be ringing Fanhome up on a fortnightly basis to see the update of it and confirming that my account has been suspended, and I will not be passing them any money because I cannot see the point in paying them money for receiving something that I can't do anything with. If you went into a car dealership and you bought a car and it turns up and it's only got 3 wheels, would you be happy paying your money for that? And yet they'll take your payment every, like if you've got it on a finance agreement, they'll take your payment every month, and yet every, you know, warranties and things are wearing out, and then they can't fix it for 6 months. I'm sorry, I don't want to make a payment until I can start using it. So that having been said, let's calm the old face down, let's get the redness out, and let's get on building the premium base part 6. Okay, so these are the parts for the premium base 6. Now, the majority of the parts will look exactly the same as all the other premium bases, with the exception of a couple of pieces. So I'm just going to skip through them. So this is CB4. This is part of the base, as you've seen many times before. And then we've got, sorry, that's not CB4, that's C84. Sorry, my bad eyesight for some reason. This is C86. This is the inner piece, which you've seen a few times before. We then got B10, which is the light diffuser. We have ELEC10, and I've had a quick look. The connections look absolutely fine. You've got that one, then 1, 2 and 3. I will check that shortly, and I'll check it before we build, but I'm going to put it back in its protective paper. Then we have got this little bag of goodies. So just trying to find my knife there. So we have got a cable labelled ELEC16, and they've called that ELEC16. So let's check this now. We're going to pop one end in there. I suspect this is going to work, because the only one that didn't work, you could actually tell from looking at the circuit board that it didn't look right. So this one may well be, polarity may be reversed. So if it doesn't work, there it does work. Now I don't know if you can see that, but that works absolutely fine. Echo, hobby desk lights out. And there you go, you can see they work absolutely fine. So echo, hobby desk lights on. Sorry, that's me being in flashy mode there, and I've just, you know, electrified my my room so I can do everything voice controlled. I'm going to pull this out for the pure reason that I can't remember which way round it was supposed to go. I think this label actually goes away from the circuit board, but I'm not sure. So lastly, we have about 1 million screws too. It says times 26 plus 2. Again, I say this all the time. I can't remember if that means there's 26 and then there's 2 screw spare, or there's 26 including the 2 spare. But I just want to put those somewhere so they don't roll away. I didn't cut that hole big enough. There we go. So all of these screws are the plastic type screws. They're for screwing plastic. Right, so let's go as per normal. We need to pop this, turning it upside down, and we're going to pop this piece. Now that slides into there like so, and that will be secured with 3 screws, 1, 2 and 3. So I'm just going to take a cut, and we'll do that nice and quickly. Okay, so that's on nice and solid. You don't need to keep screwing it, just screw it until it's on there nice and solid. Right, so the next thing was we want this diffuser, and it's going to go upside down, and it's going to match the shape of that. And we have a small cat invasion. When don't we have a cat invasion? And what we're going to do is we're going to secure that with 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that soon got rid of Shadow. He's very much, once you just give him, he just wants a little tiny bit of fuss, not too much, but once you've given it to him, he'll leave you alone. I know he's just sitting by the little heater, because it is getting colder now. So, next thing we want to do is get this ELEC10, and you'll see a large hole and a smaller hole. it needs to correspond there, so that's the wrong way round. So we'll do it that way, and then we will secure that. There's a locating tab and a screw hole, locating tab, screw hole, so we'll just pop those 2 screws in. Okay, so that's lovely. So you don't need to screw them in really tight, you just need to screw them in so that there's not much movement there. Any movement that I'm getting there is actually from the peg, but that's absolutely fine. It's not going to rock around while it's on. Now there was 2 pieces that I forgot to show you, but I'll show you them later on when we need them. But what we're doing now is we need to get this cable, and they've actually placed it label away, so I did have it plugged in correctly in the first place. So make sure you've got these correctly inserted. There's 2 little lines on the top with the JST, and that corresponds with the hole at the top. And all we're going to do, plug that in, just clips into place like that, and we have ELEC 16 on the piece that's furthest away. Right, so for the next step we need to get the parts from premium base 4 and 5, which is this one. And what we are going to do is, holding it like this, we are going to connect those 2 pieces together. Make sure this wire doesn't get in the way, and all we're going to do is we're going to place that on like so. Are we going to place it on like so? Why does it look like there's something missing there? No, it's not. It looks like something was broken off, but it's not. Right, there we go. So the easiest way to line it up is with this circle there. Make sure that circle goes around in a circle. You've got a hole there, and then you can line the rest of them up there. And then we need to insert some screws, and according to the instructions there's 3 screws, so that's going to be 1, right, it's going to be 1, 2 and 3. And if you look at the previous ones, you see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws there, but none there. So 1, 2, this one that we've already done, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there'll be none there. So I'll crack on and I'll get that done. I'll see you in a moment, guys. Okay guys, so there is this half of the base done. So I'm going to need to put the other half of the base on. Unfortunately I don't have enough space here, so I'm actually going to have to move over to the spray booth. Okay, so I was going to use the spray booth. The reason I was going to use the spray booth is because of various problems and projects that I've been doing. This desk is very full. Unfortunately it's still going to be a better option than spray booth, so please do excuse the mess. I've got problems with the PC, so I've got my mouse trailing across the desk, and it's a bit disorganised, but when have I ever been organised? Right, so what we are going to do now is we're going to connect these 2 halves. Now these pieces here are going to come in from let me see if I've got this right, is going to come in from, let me do a dry run first. Yeah, so these ones are going to go above that, but this one is going to go above that. So we need to kind of twist them first, and we need to let them lined up properly. And once I'm going to pop one on the actual hard surface, there we go, and they've gone in. Well, this side has gone in, this side is having a bit of trouble, so I would suggest we just manipulate it back. Well, there we go, it's gone in, that's gone in. So what we need to do now is get 6 screws to match these, so 1, 2 and 3, and the same on the corresponding side. So the way I'm going to do is I'm going to do one side, and then I'm going to turn it over and do the other side. Okay, and there we go guys, we now have some kind of a base. Now please note, It's very, very loose on the ends because we haven't connected anything yet. But that's what the base is going to look like. It's much bigger than the base that came with the main model. So the next pieces we need are these pieces that I forgot to show you, for which I apologise. So let's cut them out of the bag, and it looks like these are going to be corner covers, and this might actually help. I've just said about how loose it is at the ends, and this might actually add some stability. Now I suspect that there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these in total, and they will all be absolutely identical. However, I am going to place them exactly where they want them, and where they want these two is in between the Marvel Studios sticker. Let me show you the instructions. So there you have the Marvel Studios, and then you can just see behind there, that's where the Infinity Saga bit is. So all that's going to happen is you're going to get one go on there, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4 screw holes, 4, and they're a little bit of a wiggle. That's actually added quite a lot to it, I think. If you look at this corner and then you look at this, it's really nice. And we're going to secure those 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still going to leave 2 screw holes there, which I suspect is going to be a cover for this base, just like the main one did. So let me get on with those, and I'll catch up with you in a moment. Okay, and that is those 2 corners, and it was just coincidence that I mentioned how weak these were, and because I actually felt once the bottom pieces go in, it will become really, really strong, just like the main base did. But actually that has added so much strength to that one corner. So a lot of building we've been doing, and there is still a little bit more left to go, but I'm really happy to say there's only 2 screws left. My hands can't take an awful lot of screwing these days. I do not know why. Right, so we have cable management to do now. We should actually have done the cable management. No, we didn't need to do it, and we're doing it in this one. Right, so what we are going to do is the wires are all going to come towards this electrical board there. So obviously there's 1 wire per section, and you'll notice that, for example, this wire is much longer than this one, and this one is actually quite short. That's already plugged in. I don't know why we plugged that one in. And then this one is extremely long, this one's medium, and this one's quite short. And the reason for that is quite simply that we are going to channel them through. Now, stage 9 is to plug them in, and then stage 10 is to channel them. I'm actually going to go for stage 10 first. And what my suggestion is to run the wires down, starting from the one closest, because they're all going to share a channel. And I'm going to come in a little bit closer for this one, and I'll move the base around so you can see what I'm doing. So this one for C86, we're all C86. So this one, let me just come out a little bit. So we are going to push that down. There's a little notch just there, and we're going to run that down, and we're going to push it down as far as we can, and we're actually going to combine the instructions, I think. So number 14 wants to plug into there, so I'm going to suggest we pop that one underneath, and we can plug that in. Now, one small concern I have is obviously these wires are sticking up. So what I would probably do is pull the excess through, so the excess is actually in the channel that it belongs to. Okay, there's nothing we can do here. And then we now have this one, and we're going to tuck that under, and it's going to channel through there, and then it's going to continue along with this one. Let's tuck that one underneath, and then that's going to come through the channel, and this particular one, which is 16, that's going to plug in. You can't see it, is there, which makes perfect sense to me. So actually I can see now why they're asking us to channel them after we plug them in. So pull this one quite taut, so we'll just tuck that under there, and then that can go in there like so, and then we can arrange the wire. I think we're going to pull this one quite taut as well, and then that can go into that channel there, and all the excess is in there. Now if you want a little bit of belt and braces, I cannot see any reason why you can't put a piece of electrical tape over it. Unfortunately I don't have any black electrical tape, so oh no, Penny's going to have to use purple tape. Didn't see that one coming, did you? So I'm going to cut 2 small pieces of electrical tape. You can't see me doing this because I'm doing it on the edge of the desk. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that along there, and then, whoops, a bit too far down. Now if it turns out that this adds enough width, enough height to just interfere with a future piece, we can always pull it off, because if something is going to need that much extra width, then it'll obviously hold that in, but I want that held down. I'm a little bit more comfortable that way. And then this one can go down like so, and there isn't really anywhere for this to flap, so this one we could perhaps do. There's enough excess there, and I'm going possibly a little bit overboard here, but it just I have a friend on YouTube, Horlicks. His electrical work is always super neat, and mine is quite renowned for being quite untidy, and I've always said I try and take a little bit of inspiration from him. Now me tidying my wires in this way is probably still 10 times messier than Horlicks, but it's tidier than I normally am. So there we go. Okay, and that is that side done. So shall we do the other side? So I'll do this one in fast, and then I'll show you the final result. Okay guys, that is all my wires channeled. Now you should find in the electrical circuit board there is one plug that has nothing in it, which is this one there, and that is obviously going to be for the power supply. Now big question for you, I cannot seem to find where oh there it is, it's there. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, of course, it's actually connected, the on-off switch is actually connected to the circuit board. So this is going to be a battery box. So I am now very tempted, except I don't have a battery. I don't think I have a battery box with a JST connector on it. I only have this. We can have a look if that'll fit. Yeah, I don't know if I've connected it the right way round though. Do you know what? Let's go for it. So this will either work or it won't. So echo, hobby desk lights off. I'm happy enough with that. It's not very bright, however, I've played it safe and I've played it with 3 volts. How many volts we get in the final, I don't know. We could be putting 6 volts through it. If it's only controlling, if it's only going to control the lights, it probably won't be much more. I can't remember what this base actually does. Does it, for example, does it make any sounds? In which case it's going to need a lot more batteries. But look, that is premium base 6 done. It doesn't tell us what's coming in future issues, but I suspect we're going to get 2 more corners and possibly some plates on the bottom, or some more. Well, we're going to have to get some electricals at some point. So the question for me, looking at the screw holes, where are the batteries going to go? There's a hole there which isn't in any of the other yeah, that's interesting. There's a hole there and there's a hole there, and there's none on any more of the electrical boards. Other than that, all of the screw holes seem to be symmetrical. So I think that the plates are going to come, we're probably going to have 2 plates. No, 1 plate on each, which will be a big piece of almost triangle. And then obviously we're going to have something come through there. Yeah, it's all quite interesting, isn't it? But yeah, I'm really interested to know where the batteries are going to go. Maybe I've got everything in the way, the tape. Anyway, guys, so as I've said at the beginning of the video, I'm really sorry, I do not know when the next video will come. Today is the 31st of October. Happy Halloween, everyone, by the way. Let me see if I've got... No, it's not the 31st of October. It's the 17th of October. So happy Halloween in 2 weeks. Until they get this issue of 70, the problem of issue 70 and 77 sorted out, I really am not prepared to give them any more of my money. Once the issues are in, I'm quite happy to pay my money and continue. Only because we are... What are we? 3/4 of the way through this build. We're up to issue 70. Yeah, I'm practically 80% of the way built. So if I stop it now, I will lose all of my money on what I've built so far. And we are almost there. We've got about 20 issues to go. A little bit more for you guys because I haven't built any. But it's become... I've tried to be so patient with them. I try to appreciate that there are problems, but it seems that, well, I'm tempted to now say there's been problems with every issue, but all the problems have been different. We had delayed issues on the ET. We had a couple of problem parts on the RoboCop. The ET was fine because they didn't take our money until they had the parts in. I had no issues with that. Obviously, I'm upset that the parts were delayed, and I know a couple of you messaged me saying, oh, I've not been getting my ET, and I'm like, it will come. RoboCop had damaged issues, which were replaced. This has just become, can I use the word farcical? Once we're building, it's fine, but the problems seem to be overshadowing the build. When I come to the end of the build, and I ask myself the question, did I enjoy it? Right now, no. And I'm really, really sorry. There's nothing wrong with the build. It's all the problems. So guys, this is me signing off from the Infinity Gauntlet. And I do not know when I'm going to be signing back on. But rest assured, at some point, whether it be next month or next year or next century, this will be returning. So take care, guys. It's now been suspended.